What's up, guys? Tough977 playing Farm Sim 15 again. This week is a completely different map, I guess we'll put it that way. We've actually played this map before. This is American Farms. We played it a couple of weeks throughout the winter. It's why we quit playing. I'm still a little uncertain of why. But we in fact kind of give up playing on it when we did. We're actually revising it. There's been a few updates from the original map maker, so we figured we'd go ahead and give it a shot, a little bit of a go at it. So we're gonna start using it for our server map. Hopefully it holds up fine. I'm uncertain whether or not it will. We ran into some problems with our other map. Playing multiplayer maps or modded maps in multiplayer is a tough proposition, especially when you're talking about running the amount of mods that we run in a mod folder. The amount of mods we do run is kind of unprecedented compared to most multiplayer games. You know, you might have a couple dozen mods in a mod folder and that's it, as opposed to our we've got over 200 mods in the multiplayer server. So it's hard to get that many mods that you kind of like and like the appearance of. It's kind of hard to get those to all work together and do what you want them to do. So we go through these problems, and you know, we're continuing searching, we're continuing working on things, trying to find both maps and mods that work together, that work well, so it's an enjoyable experience for everybody. Pretty much all of the maps and the mods that we have run before will work together just fine in single player. There's been no real issues, henceforth the problem. It's not really until you're playing multiplayer, and then when you're playing with a multitude of people, that you start noticing a lot of these problems that kind of arise in farming sim. So it's one of those things. We all are going to have to deal with the growing pains and kind of go through the experience together. We're addressing the problems. We're working on it. So I appreciate a lot of you guys' patience in waiting for what we're doing. And then some of you, of course, are less than understanding, but we won't discuss that. So right now we're playing American Farms. We are running the older mod sets. We're trying to find older stuff. We're actually in the server, we're not using the money mod. We're doing this about as realistic as we can. We're trying to find different ways to keep the stream interesting, yet not be just, you know, mindless, you know, spawn in equipment and play the game that way, because that, to me, that gets boring. To the guys I play with, that gets boring too. We're all kind of on the same page that way. We need to spice up the game somehow, and this is a real good way of doing it. So this is the kind of the route we've taken. Back that thing up a little bit. Like I say, we will be slowly adding and subtracting mods as we go, as we progress throughout the game. As long as the map and the mods want to work together on the multiplayer server, the plan is to, as we progress through the game, we'll buy, you know, newer, more updated equipment. Right now it's all, you know, for the better part, it's older equipment. Maybe something you would actually see on a real farm that was actually, you know, trying to grow. I mean, not everybody starts out driving the best and the highest dollar equipment out there. It's all earned, and And that's kind of that. So we will be working on that, getting that kind of squared away. Hopefully it works for us. Hopefully this mod pack is going to be the ticket to the whole shooting match. Good Lord, can't get in there. Been thinking about doing some Let's Plays type stuff on this. There again, I don't know. It's one of those things. Farm Sim, for me, a lot of people have asked me to play it by myself and stuff like that. Farm Sim with me is way more fun when you got some friends to play with. I mean, it's just not the kind of game I really see being entertaining to watch me play, because I'd be pretty damn quiet, and a lot of you know, folks say that you like watching the videos to hear the whole group joking back and forth, so that kind of would make it boring for anybody sitting here watching just to hear me mumbling on about absolutely nothing for the duration. Now I gotta find that piece of equipment. So I don't know, I may do a Let's Play video or two and just try it out, see what you guys think of it. I'm uncertain of how that'll go. It's one of those things I'll hash out for a while first. Maybe by the time Farm Sim 17 comes out, I'll make up my mind. No, I'm just kidding. I'll try it. I'll maybe do a video too, maybe with a little less commentary and more just straight up gameplay. I really like streaming Farm Sim. Gives me a little interaction with something other than the game. You know, I can kind of talk to you guys, or talk to the guys in the TeamSpeak. So, like I say, it's something I'll mess around with a little bit. But for now, this is kind of our mod pack setup. Basically, the everything's been re-edited to where it holds more realistic capacities. The tractors, of course, go more realistic speeds. And there's some old equipment in, of course. Rambo's farm hall right there. Well, I'm not sure if that was one that he made or if that was an edit I'm not sure. And then, I don't know who did that. I don't know who did any of these three, actually. But I just, Toby found this, and I fell in love with it. This is the one that I found. I just absolutely fell in love with it. There is one that's got paint on it, yes, I know. I just like the idea that it's kind of old and rusty, like it'd been sitting, but still runs. Amazing, huh? So, I threw it in the mod file. I just, it's a blast to drive, and plus you can actually connect the, you can connect a 3-point up to it, which is kind of interesting, because there's like the Farm Hall 300 mod that we have in the server. Somebody took the 3-point off of it. Why they would do that is beyond me. That was pretty much the sole existence of owning those tractors, was to have that 3-point. So, and a lot of people there again have asked me why their mower will not work. So let's actually cover that right now while we're here, and I'll explain to you why the mower isn't working for you. Number one, having manual attach, the manual attach mod that we have in, is kind of a godsend. It's great to have for farming sim for multiple different reasons. Number one, it adds a little bit of realism to the gameplay. I mean, the fact that you can come up, walk up here, and you can actually just detach right there. And I'm using a controller, so I'll jump because my jump button is mapped with my attach button. So, but you just get behind it and you can attach any piece of equipment where you want it. Now, the thing that sets this one apart from the rest of the mowers and stuff like that is there's actually, if you walk over here, there's a trigger. And of course, I don't even speak that language, but you can figure out that something's telling you to push the X button. And that's what it is right there. You actually have to lower this mower that way before you can use it. And of course, it won't mow in the raise position, but it will mow in the up position. So a lot of people have asked why it don't work, and there you go. Mows like a champ now. So, and there, won't mow. And that's while it's still running. Gosh, I absolutely love this mod. Toby found the John Deere A, and then he found this mower together, and he knocked it out of the park. This is, I asked him, you know, about, we've been kind of doing a lot of planning about doing a realistic server where we're playing with older mods and the whole 9 yards like this. It's been something that I've been wanting to do for a couple of months now. The other day, Toby, or I guess Toby's been messing with it now for a couple of weeks. He started hunting up some old mods that he knew I didn't have, and he put together a really nice mod pack. There are only a few mods in here. A lot of people are sending me messages, you know, oh, hey, Tough, love the mod pack, it's awesome, yada, yada, yada. It's not all me. There's, in fact, this mod pack is very little bit to do with me. I've added, of course, this tractor and a few of the other mods, but on a major proportion, it's all been Toby, and even Randy has contributed to going out and finding mods. Captain has posted links for us to check mods out. You know, it's a constant ongoing thing. So you guys, when you guys tell me how much you appreciate the mod pack and you like it, I really appreciate it. You know, post to the guys in my, you know, chat. Just tell them, hey, appreciate the mod pack. They'd love to hear it, as well as I appreciate all the effort that they put into putting things together. I mean, it's a lot of work working on mods. It's a lot of work making things go together, and without those guys having their fingers in it and those guys putting their effort into the game like they have been, my videos would suck. It would be boring. It'd be so much work. I'd be overwhelmed all the time, and I wouldn't be able to do what little streaming and videos that I do. So you guys want to give those guys a round of thanks. I know I appreciate them every day of the week. We're working on making things better, so I appreciate everything that they do, and I would really like to see you guys tell them how you feel about it as well. So you guys want to give them folks a round of applause, that would be awesome for me. So other than that, I could go over the pickup actually and take you for a brief tour of this map. Those of you that don't know this map would like to see it, and those that do would like to probably see a few of the minor changes that I've made to the map. Number one, first and foremost, we'll just start at the shop up here. First and foremost, the biggest changes are the changes you can't see. Oops, sorry about that. Nobody's seen that. Number one, all of these fuel triggers, when we first downloaded this version of the map, all these fuel triggers wouldn't work. So I had to go ahead and replace all of the fuel triggers and make sure they work correctly. Then, of course, that's the shop right there. Down the roadways is the elevator. And there's a lot of different sale points. Like McDonald's is actually a sale point in this map. I believe there's a sale point by the gas station. Family Foods should be a sale point. Yeah, there's a sale point there. Dollar General, there's a sale point. And of course, the Hillbilly Hideaway, that's the hemp sale point. We don't want to discuss that too much further than that right there. Oh, the water. And this truck has no brakes. I'm going to have to edit that before the game tonight. Look at that water. I am not sure who originally scripted this water. All I know is that water plane is awesome. You can actually see reflections in it. You see the sky, the bridge. That's something I haven't seen in Farm Sim yet, and probably one of my biggest complaints as a map maker. It still doesn't, of course, it still doesn't have collision, and you go under it, and it's like this. Yeah, there's nothing there. But then you come up, no, it appears. That's not a big deal. You're not spending time underwater. You're spending time driving. You know, one of the things when you're farming you think about is how, you know, how pretty a game looks, or how pretty a scene looks, or something like that. That just adds to it. All I know about the water plane is, whoa, there's a log floating in the water. Anyways, Black Sheep, they named it Black Sheep Water, and I'm not sure if that's the gentleman who created it. If that's who it is, you know, round of applause to the guy. He done an awesome job scripting that water, making it shine up like that. I mean, that's just a neat plane. But anyways, onwards and upwards. I haven't really done too much once this thing starts. I haven't really done too much out this way on this edit. On my older edit, I had a barn out here. We was actually considering doing FS911 out here, and being as how we changed the map, we kind of abandoned it. But I took the barn back out and left that open. Of course, that's I can't remember. Yeah, this is a slaughterhouse here where you sell your beef. This map does have a functioning beef mod. It also has a functioning fish mod, things like that. I mean, it's got a little fish hatchery. Let's just kind of go. We'll cut around here because that's just another road. The map is scripted aside from the default crops. It's also scripted for soybeans, for carrots, for cotton, and that water is just amazing. But anyways, for carrots, for cotton, soybeans, and oats, I do believe those are the extra scripts. That's the fish hatchery right there. Logging area, it's got pretty decent little logging area, you know. A lot of people want us to do logging videos. Let's just drive over the crops. Oh, Toby, don't see it. Anyways, a lot of people want to see more logging and stuff. I can't make it happen on the multiplayer server. I am so bummed about that, but there's just not a real way I can do that. There's so many problems when you're dealing with a dedicated or a rented server. We tried it. Logs would float off the trailer through collisions. The further you'd haul them, the more they'd act up. It was just an ongoing nightmare. So I kind of abandoned the whole logging plan for multiplayer. It works fine if you're hosting your own connection. It works fine for the better part, but still you have problems. And of course you can see all the fields are real spacious fields. So that kind of makes it a little more fun to mess with, farm it. The only thing I don't like is they're pretty much all square. I don't care much for that, but you take what you get. Can't remember what this is a trigger for. I know there's a gas station out in front. And of course I changed the triggers out here. There's ATM machine there. What is this trigger? I can't remember what that trigger is for. I think the hardware store. I think they take wood chips there as well. I'm not 100% sure on that, but And of course, that's where I always put the milk trigger at. Somewhere around here. I just drop it in place. This milk sale point. Yes, the poles have collisions. The stop signs have collisions. You will stop dead in your tracks when you hit one. I was in the air about taking those down, and ultimately I decided to leave the collisions on them. Aside from it taking hours for me to actually go through and take all the collisions off, it just wasn't really worth it to me. This area used to be logged, you know, or heavily wooded, I should say. It was for a logging area. I actually took the trees out and planted a grass field there. Just give a little more grass to the game. As it is, there's only grass up by a field, you know, in between fields 1, 2, and 3 there. That little area is about all you've got for real grassland in this game to mow. You got a little bit over by field 8 in that corner. The one over on the other side of field 8 has very little decent grassland to get to, so. Oh, here's the main farm. This here's the fertilizer area. You pick up your fertilizer, and I can't remember what that one is for. I'll have to go back. I think that has to do with cedar. I can't remember. It's been so long. Your storage areas for your cotton, your carrots. This is a neat feature about this map. Whoops. Why don't we go in here and wait for the... Yeah. You actually pull up on the scale, stop on the scale, it determines your weight. Of course I have no weight, so yada yada yada. And then when you dump it out, the nice thing about multiplayer is it keeps track of who does what, so you know exactly who dumped how much grain and where they dumped it. And then your sugar beets and potatoes storage is here. Some of the triggers are automatic, some triggers are manual in this game. You just got to pick and choose which ones are which. Excuse me. Whoops. I've been working on the handling of this truck because I really like the body style of this truck. I just don't care much for the handling. Turn those headlights off. Then you go in here to the main farmyard area. We'll start out by going through. This is the grain dump trigger for your main grain station. And of course this is your fill point where you can actually pick up grain. There again, if you scale in, dump, you scale out and give your tare weight, then that keeps track of how much you've done. And of course when you're completed with that, then you can turn around and do the same thing when you haul to the grain elevator. You can see who hauled what to the grain elevator, how much. Ample storage. I think for all the maps I've seen, this map comes out with the most in one farm area anyways, most storage buildings. And of course the beef mod here, or is this beef or pig? I can't ever remember which is which on this map. Yeah, this is beef. And here's some more storage, your grass, your silage, your straw, your chaff, your forage, and manure. I do like the fact that they've got conveyors for all that, and they do have the actual storage in the map. It's something I didn't have to add. Every time you add something like this, you're adding more script to the map, and it just takes a long time to balance that out. So I'm glad to see when somebody else does it, I don't have to mess with it. I cannot remember what this building is. We got 2 beef sheds and then 2 pork sheds. Yeah, pork. Now wait for this thing to take forever to load. And there's your dairy area. That's... And the chickens, I believe the chickens spawn up around here too when you buy them. I'm not sure where the nav mesh for that is, but this is the area where the chickens like to hang out. Maybe out in that field out there too, I'm not sure. When you start in the game, that's where you start, right at that little house there. All in all, it's a pretty decent, well-rounded map. I mean, it's got, of course, as any map does, it has its flaws, has the things that people are going to complain about, that people aren't going to like. But in general, it's a pretty darn good map. But that's about all I have for today. Links for the mod pack's going to be in the description down below. If you like the video, feel free to click that like button. And if you want to see more videos from me, just go ahead and grab the subscribe ticket. And until tonight's stream, good luck playing this game. Have fun. I'll see you all then.